talking about love. Look at my cat. With love in the air and Valentine's Day around the corner, I have decided to take it upon myself and truly immerse myself in one of the current day's best romance authors out there, and that author is none other than Miss Tessa Bailey. I will be reading this cute little duology that she has written, the first one being Secretly Yours, the second one being Unfortunately Yours. These two are set in the same town, so we follow two siblings of the Vos family within these two books. We have Julian and we have Natalie. Julian is really stuck up and likes to live life to a schedule, whereas our main female protagonist in this book, who is Haley, lives in a completely different way. She is chaos incarnate and they are complete opposites, and will that be the recipe for a perfect relationship? In Unfortunately Yours, we follow Natalie, who I'm not too sure, but so far from what I can tell, she is a down on her luck Napa heiress, and she suggests a marriage of convenience, which sounds really great. Once again, I'm just gonna be reading these and getting up all in my romantic feels before Valentine's Day, and I'll be telling you my feelings on these because I feel like Tessa Bailey is often a hit or a miss. I feel like this series is gonna be a really cute one. She does do the duologies really well. I really love the Ballinger sisters, which I thought were really great. Once again, like two completely different characters and two completely different relationships, but I enjoyed both. But yeah, I'm really excited to jump into both of these. I'll be starting obviously with Secretly Yours. I want to do a quick little update on Secretly Yours. I am currently really enjoying this book. The beginning is definitely slow. I will say that I do struggle often with Tessa Bailey's books and getting into them. I find the beginning to be slow. It takes me a while to get used to the characters. They all are kind of unique, so we actually really get used to it. This is kind of dual point of view, but mainly from Haley's perspective. I would want to say we started with her perspective and then Julian's is kind of interwoven. Thus far, that's obviously bound to change, and I really do like their dynamic so far. We've already had some moments where I've tabbed like all dog-eared, which have been like some moments. But I really am enjoying it. I'm on page 134 right now. I'm hoping to finish this today so that I can start Unfortunately Yours on Valentine's Day. A little bit late to this, but I'm hoping that I can read quite a bit of this today, and Unfortunately Yours hopefully also a little bit today so that I can finish it tomorrow. But so far so good. I really am enjoying this. I cannot wait to continue reading this actually. I wanted to give you another update on Secretly Yours before I head back to work. I am quite far into it now. I'm at 200 pages in. Add a little bit more of intimate relations between our two main characters. I will say this book is hilarious. It is definitely got the rom-com vibes. I definitely love the direction that romance is taking these days, where it's not too smutty and it's not too commie. You know, it's a great combination of smut, romance, comedy, relationships. And I also like how in this book we're not just focused on Julian and Haley's relationship, but kind of everyone's relationship within the town. And I think that when you read the second book, Unfortunately Yours, it just further expands those relationships. But this world feels so independent, like it feels so real. I love reading about all the characters in this book. I'm just having a really great time. I definitely think this is going to be one to pick up this year. If you haven't picked it up yet, it is out now. It came out on the 7th, so it's been out for like a week now, and it's definitely the perfect February read so far. Not only does it cover like a really gorgeous pink, and like it just looks so great. I really do love it, and I really love the aspect we have a not necessarily a third love interest but a competing interest, and to see Julian get jealous is hilarious. I'm absolutely loving it and I can't wait to read more. I am hoping to finish it today. As I mentioned, I have about 100 and something pages left to read, 130 give or take. So hopefully I can finish that after the work day is done. Hi, hello. It is a little after Valentine's Day, which is when this video was supposed to be up. And I am giving myself grace because life is just busy. At the moment, I didn't even get to take a lunch break today because I was finishing stuff up. But I'm about to sit with you and finish Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. I have a ridiculous amount. I have like 10 pages left to read. I'm gonna sit and read it and finish up, giving you my thoughts, and then jump straight into Unfortunately Yours. I'm hoping that next week I will have another video, which has taken me 2 months, nearly 3 months, actually no, more like 2 months to finish. So I'm hoping that's the case. So it's a little bit of a hint. But yeah, I'm gonna sit now and I'm gonna read this with you, and then we're gonna jump into what we think is gonna happen in Unfortunately Yours, because these two are duologies. Well, this is a duology. So this book precedes what happens in this book. I don't think I have much time, so I'm gonna try and wrap up my feelings on this as quickly as I possibly can. I've just finished this, so it's gonna be pretty much a raw. This is definitely a book that I think will do well social media wise. If you're looking for like any kind of romance with substance and like anything other than rom-com romance and smut, this is probably not the book for you. This book was a lot of fun to read. I will say it definitely dives quite deep into the stereotypical archetypes that romance does have. You know, the muscular man, the petite feminine, well, she's not really petite, but like the more soft-sided feminine character. And I actually enjoyed that in this one. I do think that there are always going to be cringy lines in romance that you go, really? But I really enjoyed this one. I think it's going to be a solid 3.5, 4, probably more of a 4-star in my opinion, because I really enjoyed every minute. I loved it. I will say I do think it's a bit long. It's only like 350 pages, but I do think it's on the longer side. I found it to be quite wordy in some places and not enough words in other places, but I really enjoyed this one. I definitely do enjoy Tessa Bailey's writing. I do think she's very hit or miss, even like on a book-to-book basis. Not everyone's gonna love all of her work, but so far everything that I've read by her I've enjoyed, but not so much so that I do want to get the Ballinger sisters, but not so much that I would say she's an all-time favorite author. She is so much fun to read. She definitely knows how to write scenes, and I did like the fact that in this book there wasn't necessarily this massive third act breakup. It was still there. I feel like a lot of romance authors are going to struggle to get away from that, but I did find that I liked the way this one was handled. It felt a little bit, it still felt dramatic and like seriously just going to have a conversation. I enjoyed this one nonetheless. I really did like it, and I am so excited to pick up Unfortunately Yours, which follows Natalie Vos, which is Julian Vos' sister in here. She, in Secretly Yours, she is quite sassy and she's kind of down in the dumps. When we meet her, she's just lost her job, she's just been broken up with, she's had to return home where she doesn't necessarily want to be, and I'm excited to see how the story continues in this one. Hi, I wanted to do a quick little update on Unfortunately Yours. It's currently Thursday, so I'm definitely rushing to finish this, but I'm not upset about that. I am really enjoying this book. I think I do enjoy this book a lot more than Secretly Yours. I think the characters just have a lot more chemistry. Not to say that in Secretly Yours I didn't have. I just feel like the chemistry in here is so much better. It's enemies to lovers, marriage of convenience, and the guy falls first, which I absolutely love. Those kinds of tropes in this kind of book, it's just so great. I am on page 200. I have about 150 pages left to read. I am hoping to finish this today so I can tell you my whole feelings, but so far, based on what I feel so far, I'm gonna say this book is about 4.5 to 5 star. Like, something really bad has to happen to drop it down to a 4, and something really good has to happen to push it up to a 5. But so far, I'm really enjoying this a lot more than the first book, I will say. So if you didn't like the first book all that much, definitely wait until this book comes out and just give it a go, because as I said, enemies to lovers, marriage of convenience, the guy falls first. That is all I need. This book is so far a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying myself, and I'm really hoping that I can read for a little bit longer, but probably not. We'll see. I'm hoping to have at least another 30 minutes. You might have seen this. So this looks a little weird, but it's actually like a burrito wrap. So my boyfriend got me a burrito wrap for Valentine's Day this year, and last year he got me one of those octopi that can be like turned around and then it's like got a different face on the one side. So I'm just getting all of the cute things, and it's like a circle, so you literally look like a burrito when you get wrapped up. It's so cute and I absolutely love it. But yeah, I am going to get back to reading because, as I said, I'm enjoying it a lot, and I'm kind of like sprinting towards the end here, but I will see you on the other side. I did what I would have considered a nearly impossible task of finish Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey. I finished it last night, and I've had some time to think about it before I updated you because I was at my boyfriend's. And what can I tell you that I haven't told you already? I do like the character dynamics in this, as I mentioned before, but I do feel like towards the end, I feel like the focus becomes a little too insta-lovey. I like the fact that, you know, they do fall for each other, but I feel like they've only known each other for like really 2-3 days, and they're already spewing like I would die for you. A bit too extreme for me, especially considering this is like a real life book set in the modern world. In addition to that, I feel like I really wanted more exploration of the family dynamics that were brought up in conversation quite a lot throughout this book. I kind of wanted more of a deep dive into that, just because I found that a lot more interesting. I like the romance, but I would have liked a little bit more of the family dynamics being brought into the mix, and especially since our character Natalie has really felt left out by her family, so I would have liked that exploration a bit more, other than her brother and her mom basically saying sorry, and she's like, you know, like that doesn't seem right to me. A wrap up of these two books, I do think that book 2 is way better than book 1, and it definitely is worth pushing through this one if you want to read them in the correct order. But in saying that, I don't necessarily think you have to read the one or the other. You don't have to read like Secretly Yours to read Unfortunately Yours, in my opinion. Obviously there's going to be references to the characters in this book, within this book, since they are nearly consecutive. If you want to know a little bit more about the events in the first book, before you read the second book, I would advise. But otherwise, if you don't care too much about what happens in the first book and are just interested in an enemies to lovers, marriage of convenience, he falls first kind of book, you could totally read these. These are like kind of those books where it's great to read them in a series, but you could totally read them independently of each other, and the story is just as good, I would say. Those are my thoughts on this one. I really hoped that you enjoyed this vlog. Let me know down below if I should do more like this, where I do a review of a romance series or something along those lines, or a quick duology or something like that. But yeah, those are my thoughts.